everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be meeting some of the members of our Diversibility Leadership Collective. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marie Dagenet Lewis, and I am a content manager at Diversability. We are waiting on a few of our members to joining us tonight. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Nicole. Hi, everybody. Ooh, there's Sean. I am a pale-skinned woman with long dark hair, wearing a black beanie, wearing some glasses, and there's Melissa. So if Melissa and Sean, if you can request to join, we'll get you up here. And I know Rachel is coming too. Hi, from Anchorage, Alaska. Wow, that's so far. I'm in Roanoke, Virginia. If you want to let us know where you are in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for joining. So we are talking about the Diversibility Leadership Collective. Just waiting on getting our other members in this chat. I also have a link for a live transcript. If anyone needs, please let us know, and I will get that sent to you right away as we start getting this going. Thank you so much for just being patient with us. Let me invite Melissa. I see you're unable to join. Rachel, you're also unable to join. And let me get Sean in here. You guys might need to update real quick. Sean, you are also unable to join. I sent requests to you guys. While we wait, I might get, I'm just going to talk about the Diversibility Leadership Collective and I see Nicole is in here. She's one of our members of the Diversibility Leadership Collective too. And Tiffany is in the chat as well. And so the Diversibility Leadership Collective is an amazing space. It's an incubator space to where we are. Oh, Tiffany, hi. Tiffany will come and talk with us for a little bit while we wait to get our other members in here. There's Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
I just wanted to see if I could join or if people had tech issues, but I will drop off and let other folks join.
Okay. I'm sorry, I clicked to the chat and then it got everywhere. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today? Yes, I can hear you. Thanks so much for coming. Here's Rachel. She is coming in. And while we wait for everyone else to come, Melissa is one of our newest members of the Diversibility team. So I'm so excited to have us in our chat. Hi, Rachel. You are looking amazing tonight. How are you feeling?
Hey, good to see all of you.
Good to see you. And so if you don't mind, before we start, of course, just giving a brief image description. And again, just for example, my name is Marie Dagenet Lewis. I'm a pale-skinned woman with long black and green hair, wearing a black beanie and black glasses. Rachel, I would love if you can give a little introduction and just to tell us a little bit about your advocacy and what brought you to the Diversibility Leadership Collective.
Sure. Hi, I'm Rachel Ungerer. I use she, her pronouns. I have short reddish hair and black glasses and black lipstick. Yeah, I am a professional artist, and I've been really wanting to get more involved in the disability community and activism, but I haven't really felt up to it until recently. So yeah, that's part of what inspired me to join the DLC, and I have been doing art shows with other disabled artists. Really nice to finally start to have community because very few people have my illness. So I've not really had any community around this and wanted to receive that support and give it back.
I completely feel that and relate. And as you were speaking, we got Sean and Melissa back in the chat with us. So now we have everyone tonight, and I'm so happy to see everybody else. So while you guys were coming in, Rachel was sharing just what brought her to the DLC and why she joined. And so, and also she gave a brief description for accessibility purposes. So Sean, I would love to just learn a little more about your advocacy and what brought you to the DLC, to the
Hi.
Diversity
Oh, sure.
Collective.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Sean. My pronouns are she and her. I am an African American woman with brownish red hair. I have red glasses on and a black shirt. So what brought me to Diversability is the support. And honestly, they not only support those that are wanting to do advocacy for the disabled community, but they also support those who want to actually start businesses to help support the disabled community. I have multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed almost exactly 10 years ago. And so I have an invisible illness. And this place has been, you guys have been wonderful. Let's put it that way.
We really appreciate that, and I can't wait to learn more about your business and just everything that what you do. So thank you so much for being here tonight. And as I was saying before, Melissa is one of the newest members to the Diversibility team, and so I'm really excited to learn just more about your background and how the community is just going to be able to grow with your help, because you are the Diversibility Leadership Collection community manager, and really excited about it.
Yes, thank you for the introduction. I am so excited to be here. So what brought me to Diversability? I actually have a really good friend who does a lot of disability advocacy work. And I believe that she reposted something that Diversability posted. And so I followed. And then right when I began to follow, I saw this opening, which I thought I was perfect for because a lot of my professional work experience is in the DEI space. So diversity, equity, and inclusion, but I often find and see a pattern that disability is often not part of that conversation ever, which I think is very interesting. And so I do feel like a lot of organizations lack those types of initiatives, which is why this also brought me to Diversibility and to help support the DLC. Yeah, and just also for description purposes, I am just wearing, I am a Mexican American pale skinned woman. I have short, straight black hair, wearing my white AirPods, sorry, and just a orange long sleeve shirt with a plain background, white background.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And you brought up such an amazing point, is that like a lot of the conversations that have really been happening over the last few years when it comes to DEI, diversity, inclusion, it really has been overlooking one of the biggest parts of the community, which is the disabled community, which is very intersectional. It's very diverse, it's multifaceted. And so really the Diversibility Leadership Collective is something that's monumental, pioneering this space. It's like an incubator space for disabled excellence. This is like where you can really find a career building platform of community. And so I would really love to know, like, what is your favorite aspect of the Diversibility Leadership Collective that you've experienced so far? Rachel, I would love to start with you.
I did like some of the events I went to so far. There was Ali Stroker, who's a disabled woman who was on Broadway and got a Tony. And she was like amazingly positive. And I don't usually vibe with that, but she really meant it. And it was kind of inspiring to see someone who was so enthusiastic about what they do.
Totally. Like, can you believe we got to talk to Ali Stroker? I'm so glad you mentioned
She's so
that.
cool. Like,
she's
she's really nice. Like, she talks to you like you're just a friend. I don't even know her. She's really nice.
I know, it's like it was so amazing, because that's what I'm like so excited you brought this up, because I would have forgot. Like, one of the best parts about the DLC is the fireside chats, that it facilitates this environment where we have access to speaking to these like trailblazing pioneers in industries who are really making an impact, like Ali Stroker. she literally talked to us for over an hour. She went over that hour, and
Yeah.
she did it gracefully and graciously, and it was just so amazing. And there's just going to be even more events like that, to where like it's curated by the community too. It's like, if there's ever someone that you would really love to have a conversation with, if you would ever love to learn from, if you would ever love to really experience that type of conversation with, we would love to try to facilitate it for you. So just let us know. Sean, I would love to know what your favorite experience that you've had with the Diversibility Leadership Collective has been so far.
I have really enjoyed I've been to a couple of like seminars. So I love the Disability Unplugged that we just did with the entrepreneurs. As an entrepreneur myself, trying to get my business launched, it was amazing to hear from these individuals that have done it. And they gave us the real deal. So not only did they, talk about, these are things that are wonderful, but these are the things that we also still struggle with. And these are the struggles you may face trying to step out there. But I'm the type of person, I want to know that stuff. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't like to hear the good and then I get to the bad and I'm like, what just happened and why didn't anybody tell me that? So I think those have been amazing. And then also just the opportunities that you guys provide to us to gain visibility.
Yes.
So I just did a podcast interview this afternoon, actually, for a podcast that's going to air in March. So just the opportunity, I've had more opportunity in the month I've been with Diversability than I did for the previous 6 months.
Yeah, that's relatable.
That just makes me so excited. I can't wait to hear that podcast, and I can't wait to see what else comes out of everything like that. That's so exciting. And I love the point that you brought up too, is like the authenticity that comes from the community and the events in the community. It's not just a supportive space, because don't get me wrong, it's an extremely supportive space to where I actually feel confident challenging a lot of the stigmas in society, but it's a dose of reality too. We talked about the challenges, but then in that space, we have the support of our community as we face these challenges together. And it's something that's very empowering, because you're right. When you're constantly like told all these positives, and when you're constantly told all the things that you're going to get, but then you're not given the support when the first hurdle comes, it's so challenging. So to have that community space that is realistic and is there for you for the whole ride, it's something that's really important in every startup. But when you're a disabled entrepreneur, when you're a disabled creator, when you're going against all of the everything, so that's an amazing perspective. And Melissa, I know you're really new to the community, and so you experienced at least one mixer. We've had at least one master class. I've seen you in the community, just starting to get to know everybody. Like, what do you think so far? Like, what's your favorite part of the Diversability Leadership Collective?
So I think I am incredibly privileged and lucky to be exposed to this community. And to be honest, out of all the communities that I have been a part of, similar to Sean, I have been able to receive and gather more quality support and networking opportunities and resources than I think I ever have before. I'm not bashing any other community that I'm part of, but it's just continual, like resource after resource. And then I love to see how everybody shares those resource, tags individuals, like think of others to kind of bring them onto that journey or expose them to what they're doing, and exposing them to what they're doing. Whenever the podcast series comes out, please link it and post it, because we also celebrate wins in the community. So please, I'm sure people and I myself are going to want to hear it.
For sure. Yeah, while we're there for the challenges, we're also there for the wins and celebrating what everyone's doing, amplifying what everyone's doing, and being there to help what everyone is doing. Make sure more people are seeing what they're doing. It's like having that give, and it's not like a give and take where everyone's like just taking from everyone. It's like a constant stream of support and like moral, and it's like it's symbiotic. It's a beautiful thing to me. And really it's like having these one of a kind opportunities that you won't be able, well, you can find other places, of course, you know, you could, but you would have to do the Google searching. You would have to do the networking and be in different spaces and be in multiple places all at once. And what's so amazing about the Diversibility Leadership Collective is that they're put in one place for everyone to make it more, to make it easier. So where other people have found these opportunities, we get to place it somewhere so everyone else can find them in a much easier and more accessible way. So no one else has to waste the spoons finding them. They're there for us. Because honestly, when everyone else is amplified, when everyone else has a seat at the table, that's when the table's actually full. And that's when we can actually do the work that we want to get done. And the really what's important about the DLC to mention though is that it is a paid community. We do offer sliding scale memberships. So if that's ever something that could prevent you from trying to join the Diversibility Leadership Collective, you can always apply for a sliding scale membership, because this is something that should always be accessible so you can build your career. But I've mentioned this too because investing in ourselves and investing in our disability advocacy in our careers, it's something that we second guess at times because we're taught that we're not really worth our work and we're not really worth any of that. And so I would really love to know what went into your thought process of making that investment into yourself and really valuing your work. What did you think about it and how do you feel? Rachel, I'd love to start with you.
I was already part of Diversability's free Facebook forum, and I found that really useful in itself, but I knew that I wanted to get more involved in activism, especially after this disability art show I had in Palo Alto. And the only reason I even got introduced to the curator was because the curator was talking to Tiffany Yu about disabled artists, which was great. And it was a great show, and there were very old and experienced artists and new ones too. And it was one of the first times I really got to be involved in activism, which was more than just me. And I know that I'm not going to solve my problems by just fighting for me. That's not going to work. So I'm giving this a try and seeing how that goes.
I love it. Like, and just from one disabled artist to another, I just love all the times that we get to talk, all the times that we get to just really, learn from each other. I really appreciate your friendship. So thank you. Sean, I would love to know what went into your decision to really invest in the Diversibility Leadership Collective, but more so taking your advocacy career to just, I guess, really the next level. I don't know if that's the right words, but just investing more into yourself.
So my journey to Diversibility was a little different in that I had come across a post on LinkedIn. So I'm part of a accessibility community in LinkedIn. And so I follow quite a few of those people. And I think the post happened to come up because of one of the hashtags, and I was looking at it and I was like, well, this is interesting. So then I kind of went ahead and found the website and looked at it a little bit, and I was like, this could be interesting. So I applied. And in the meantime, I joined the Facebook group too, and actually found a lot of information just right off of that. And then when I went ahead and signed up, I felt like I was at a place I needed help to go farther, I think. So, even though I come from a family of entrepreneurs and things like that, this is kind of a new space for me. So, and it's a new space also dealing with a chronic illness. So I felt that I needed to find some people to kind of help me go farther, to show me some things that maybe I don't already know. So that's what made me decide to do it. And, I finally had to make the decision that I need to invest in myself, in my business, and stop trying to help everybody else, and honestly help myself. So that's why I did it. And like I said, this was one of the best decisions I've made so far.
Thank you so much for sharing. And it's really true. Like when it comes to advocacy, we're taught to help everybody else, but we can still help everybody else while making sure we're fed, while making sure that we have our needs met and that we have the value for our time and effort and everything too, because emotional work, that's so much work. Like everything that we do, from the paintings that we make, from the speeches that we give, from the content that we create, all of it has years of experience, of lived experience. And one thing that I've really learned from our community is just valuing that lived experience and being able to say that my lived experience as a disabled soul really does matter. And Melissa, like I would love to hear like what advice would you have to someone who would be considering joining the Diversability Leadership Collective but not knowing if it's a good fit for them?
Yeah, definitely. So as Rachel mentioned, joining the Face Free Facebook group first, kind of see what members are talking about there, what kind of resources are there. But also, we offer at times 2-week free memberships to the Diversity Leadership Collective. And so that's a good way to try us as well. And like you mentioned earlier, the sliding scale. I know everybody is at different points in their lives financially right now, given still like COVID. But honestly, the convincing, I don't even think it needs to be there. There are so many good quality opportunities, resources, friends that I know people have already made. So I would honestly say give us a try. There has been, for me, in my own experience, there has not been another community like this before. So yeah.
I love it. And you're so right. It's like the community experience of just having the friends and just having people that like they get it. Like for me, it's been hard to really connect with people, but because of like I've actually made friends with the community. Like I talked to Rachel, like we're planning some cool stuff for Disability Pride Month. Nico's in here and he's also part of our little planning committee. We're doing some cool stuff. It's like the collaborations that happen, the connections that are made. It's something that are really so empowering. So as we have just a few minutes left of our conversation, though, I would love to hear what other advice really you guys would have for anyone who is considering trying to make a career out of their advocacy and just maybe join a community to see if they want to. Rachel, what advice would you have?
I don't think we can do advocacy alone because I learned a lot about what other people, disabled people needed just by meeting more people and being in an art show. That everyone's needs are so different from mine. So I think that we need each other, and I don't want to just help me. So I was able to be on a talk about disability in the workplace with Tiffany on LinkedIn Live, and I think being part of a community, if you're in a place where you're able and want to give back, it's a good way to do it.
Definitely. And I can't wait to listen back to that talk because I wasn't able to make the talk today, but that's an amazing thing about the LinkedIn Live series is you can always go back and hear them later. And next week on Thursday, Tiffany's also going to have another member speaking, so it's going to be an awesome talk. Sean, I would love to know what advice do you have to someone who is considering just either making a career, trying to see if it's a good fit for them, or just trying to find a community that makes them feel empowered?
I would say that this is probably one of the best experiences that you will have, especially for the price. And I say that because coming from corporate, coming from coaching in previous life and things like that, a lot of people charge a lot of money for a lot less.
This is true.
So I know it might be like, whoa, but it is true. Like they charge thousands of dollars to get a lot less from somebody, and we've gotten so much more because A, it's affordable, B, it is a community. Like we don't want each other to fail, we want each other to succeed. And even if we have, you know, different viewpoints on various topics, we're willing to listen and take that information and help make our own advocacy better. And that's something that money can't buy.
Mm-hmm. That was like, I can't even add anything to that. Thank you so much, Sean. And in our last few minutes, I just have to, of course, amplify what you guys are doing. Do you have anything you want to share about your advocacy work? How can we support you? How can we follow you? Melissa, I'm going to start with you. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. Is there anything that we can celebrate you for?
I appreciate that. At the moment, not necessarily. I'm learning to kind of regain like my rest. It's honestly, I'm not trying to put my hands in too many things right now. I really want to focus more on myself and my health. And I really want to be here to amplify others and uplift others who are, who have that momentum going. Because right now, my body and my mind is at rest. So I'm going to stick right here for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I feel that so much. Thank you. Rachel, how can people connect with you? Is there anything going on that we can amplify?
Oh, I wish my body was at rest. My body is in pain. But on the positive note, I'm part of an art show that's opening in February in San Francisco called The Art of Disability Culture. It's a smaller version of a show we had last year, and that's going to be at Ruth's Table in the Mission, so that's exciting. And there's a lot of really good disabled artists in that show with a like strong disabled pride and not being afraid of the dark side or to celebrate the good stuff.
Oh, I cannot wait to see it. Is there any virtual access? Can someone across the nation see that?
I'm not sure about this show, but there was on the original one, which does have a lot of recorded videos at this time.
I can't wait to look. Awesome. And Sean, is there anything we can amplify? How can people follow you? Tell us what's going on.
So I am on all social media except for TikTok and except for YouTube. But of course, none of my handles are exactly the same. So, but if you ever go to Tiffany's Twitter space on ableism, I'm starting to pop in and out of there quite a bit. I follow Diversibility on almost every platform. So if somebody wants to try to find me, somebody around here might know who I am. Right now, I am in the process of trying to assemble my first 5-week course that will be free because it's helping me actually put together my content. Because what I am trying to do is help create accessibility and environments that are more supportive in the small to medium-sized businesses. So those that are just starting. And helping get that out there by, teaching these people kind of like as part of when they're creating a business plan. Accessibility should be part of their plan moving forward too, just as it is with finances and marketing and sales. And so I eventually am hoping to get smaller businesses to understand that and get to that point. So right now, my goal is to work on creating online courses and webinars so that people can just join from the comfort of their home or their own workplace without having to go meet somewhere for a big convention with 10,000 people that they don't want to be around if they're immunocompromised.
That sounds awesome. And that sounds also like it's desperately needed. And I can't wait to hear the follow-up on that. Thank you so much for joining, everybody, for talking with us, for coming to spend some time with us. Real quick, I saw Nicole. She's one of our members. Want to give a shout out to Nico and Nicole as well for coming to speak with us. James, if you send us a message, we can make sure we can figure out what's going on and make sure you can try out the Diversability Leadership Collective. And if you ever want to try it out, you can get your first week free. Sometimes we can do 2 weeks free. We can do a sliding scale. We want to make we want to make it accessible. We want to make sure that you have the power, you have the community, you have the support, and you have the amplification. So you can head to https://diversibility.mn.co, and you can sign up there. And if you need any help, just send us a message. Is there anything, last words, anyone would like to share before we could sign off?
We look forward to seeing you in the collective. Simple as that.
Well said. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you guys later. Thank you, everybody.
It's great meeting all of you.
Bye.